One more thing I wanted to bring up, which kind of goes a little bit against the grain. I categorized every movie on our list as being either an original story, an adaptation, or a franchise, and saw how that broke down. If a movie was profitable, 54% of those were part of a franchise, 21% were an adaptation, and 25% were original. And on the flop side, 43% of flops were original stories, 43% were franchises, and 14% were adaptations. I got a couple of observations here. One of them is being an original story makes your movie much more likely to flop. Being part of a franchise makes it much more likely to succeed. And also, there's plenty of original stories being made. If 1 in 4 successful movies is an original story, and that includes things like Weapons, Sinners, Drop, F1, that's not nothing. The thing is, people show up for name recognition first and foremost, but the idea that nobody makes original movies anymore is just not correct. The reason studios make franchise movies is because people show up for them, because it's just way too risky. You almost double your chances to lose money if you tell an original story as opposed to adapting something with a recognizable name. First of all, it is just not correct that the original stories aren't out there, and secondly, if I was a studio executive, I would do exactly the same thing. I would be very careful about what original stories I give a chance and risk money in my career on. If you are of the opinion that movies are all trash and they're all reboots and all franchise, then if you look a little bit harder, you can find still good ones. They're out there.
And I think people don't want to look into it too hard. They want to be presented with it, and I think that's got a lot to do with marketing, especially with the posters. For example, Daniel, you mentioned this a couple of times where you say the poster is just boring. There's nothing to it that makes you want to go and watch it.
I agree that movie marketing continues to be awful. Almost all movie posters are just people looking at the camera. I was walking out of my local theater just a few days ago, and there's this giant poster for The Housemaid, and it's literally just 3 people looking at the camera with a blank expression on their face. And it's like, if I didn't already know what that movie was, I would have no clue what it was or whether I might like it or whether it's even worth checking out.
Exactly.
And that's part of the problem.
When you are, doing something that's an original or something that people don't recognize, you have to get in people's faces. You have to get people seeing or talking about the movie or just kind of aware that you exist. And a lot of the time it's just, things just come and go.
I blame the early internet on this, where they made fun of the 90s style movie trailers where a voiceover says "in a world" and then it tells you the premise.
I like that. I didn't know why.
As cliche as that was, and it was the same guy every time and the same tone and all of that, right? So maybe mixed up a little bit, but those trailers told you what the movie was about, and even just the posters, bring back the movie tagline. Anything other than just people standing there convince me that this is going to be interesting and that I might like it and that I might want to take a chance on it. In that environment, people are going to stick to familiar names, which is either actors or franchises or characters.